Guys, it's Maddie. I am currently at my grandmother's house again, but I will surely go back home. But today we have Ivan.
Yo, what's up? What's up?
Today we are gonna continue our podcast where we just talk about movies, and today we have a twofer, like always. We're gonna talk about the new Indiana Jones movie and a Wes Anderson movie that we both saw, Asteroid City. So, which one would you like to start off with, Asteroid City or Indiana Jones?
Well, let's start with because that's how I started off. I saw Asteroid City and then
Okay,
Indiana. So
let's do that.
Asteroid.
So, what I know about Wes Anderson, right? I know him with his amazing director like scenery and like how he directs and
Cinematography, like
cinematography. Yes, cinematography. That's
the
what.
way it looks. Yeah.
And the way it looks, it feels, it sounds, it just everything. He
hmm
has a unique cinematography. If you've seen any of his films, you will know like a difference between like Tim Burton's style and Wes Anderson's style. They're
hmm
great directors on their own front, but the cinematography in both are very different, and you can obviously see that. But the most recent Wes Anderson films that I've seen are Fantastic Mr. Fox and the Lost Isle Dogs movie. I don't know if that's the right name for it, but it was like where like all the dogs are like banned from like think Korea, I think, and like all dumped in like
hmm
this like trash island, which is very sad. But I love the movie anyway. But I
The only
always
one.
like watch his claymations. I've never really watched his live action. So this was like the first
mhm.
of me seeing live action Wes Anderson, and it's like pretty much the exact same. It's just with people and
Yeah. With so I've the only movie I've seen from Wes Anderson is I don't know if you heard it, The Grand Budapest Hotel.
I've heard of it and I've heard good things about it, but I have not seen it.
Yeah, so I saw it because I have a whole watch list of movies, and that was one of them. And I saw like clips, or for me on Instagram, I get like clips of movies, like
Mm-hmm.
just parts of it, and that's how I would. Okay, I'm gonna put it on my watch list because this little clip interests me, so I'm gonna watch it. And so I saw that, a lot of Instagram accounts were like putting the same like video or visual thing, and it was all from the same movie, which was that one from the Grand Budapest Hotel,
Mm-hmm.
and everything looked so perfect, symmetrical, and colorful. And me being as a photographer, that was like, this looks amazing. Like, what movie is this? And so I saw it. I saw it with my family actually, mom and dad, and yeah, they enjoyed it. But obviously, they don't see how I would see it
Like it.
visually. So and uh and I've learned. So yeah, he has a very distinct style, like Tim Burton, like that's his like style.
Yeah.
And even the way not only having a huge cast of a whole bunch of famous people, but also the way they talk, they interact. It's his
It's
sense
him
of
all the way
humor.
through. It's him all the way
His
through.
sense of humor is obviously like it's all similar. Now I've only seen this hotel in Asteroid City,
Mm-hmm.
and they're very similar, obviously, because cast, humor, and visual.
Yeah.
So and that's so yeah, and that's what I've like noticed on this Asteroid City, because I've only seen the Budapest and Asteroid City. Okay, so it looks the same, but everything, the style, like the dialogue, people, and yeah, so which is a style that I'm very much like getting to know and really like.
Yeah, I would also recommend watching his claymations of like Fantastic Mr. Fox and the dog movie because
hmm
they're also really, really good. And it's like amazing what you can do with legit claymation. It's literally made out of clay and fur and just like real stuff that he
Yeah.
makes, and it's just stop motion has always interested me. I always loved stop
hmm
motion. I actually tried stop motion when I was younger, but failed amazingly.
It's
So
hard.
it's really
It's
hard.
really
So
hard.
anyone who can do stop motion when it comes to either clay or Legos or anything in between, I praise you because I couldn't do that, and I was like 11. So, like,
Yeah.
I couldn't even do that, and I probably couldn't even do that now with the equipment I have and like the Legos I have. I couldn't probably do that at all either. So I praise
Hmm.
anyone who can do claymation or stop motion of any kind. So I praise you. But let's talk
Yeah.
about the movie now that we know who Wes Anderson is. So we start in legit, probably the middle of nowhere. I'm guessing somewhere off in Arizona, maybe Nevada. Just guessing, right?
Hmm.
We're in this little pit stop town of Asteroid City where an asteroid has crashed like how many years ago, and today is like one of the anniversaries of it
Like a,
crashing down.
it's like an annual event type
It's
of
like an
convention.
annual event where like they invite anyone and everyone to come, and they mostly invite people and kids who are very intelligent and who it's basically like a science fair of geniuses who can make the best science stuff in the nation. Bring them here. We'll give them some awards, and by the end of the weekend, we'll give one of you lucky ones a scholarship to what of X amount of money to whatever you want to do with it. Honestly, with my scholarship money, I just wasted it on books and my tuition, so I didn't spend my scholarship money wisely. I don't know if any of them would probably do it better than I would. Probably they probably would because they're
Yeah,
smarter.
probably most likely.
But like the amount of inventions they came up with were like, huh, okay, that's a thing. Okay.
Hmm.
And it was just weird. So we got a dad who likes to smoke and take pictures, with his three daughters and one Brainiac son. I only remember him as Brainiac. I can't actually remember his name because I haven't seen the movie in so long. What's his name? I forgot.
Hmm.
It's Winston
Uh,
Watson
no, it's
Wade. No.
I actually can't even remember the photographer's name, to be honest.
His name Eric Ezra. Something
Let's
with
just
me.
call him Brainy.
Something. But like Um, he brings his kids to this because I thought at first they were legit just out of gas and their car was like broken down in the middle of nowhere and they
Hmm.
were going somewhere else because that's what I thought they were doing. But no, they legit came here, but it by circumstance they are stuck. So that happened, and they are bringing. He brought his dead wife, their mother, in a Tupperware because she died 3 weeks ago and did not tell 3 weeks or months ago and did not tell his children. And I'm sitting here like, okay, I might not be as smart as a brainiac, but I think I would know if my mother is dead. I think I would know that. And I don't know
Hmm.
how especially the brainiac one. He said he felt like he kind of noticed like where his mom or like he kind of figured it out, but he didn't want to say anything. Again, not say anything to your little sisters because that might traumatize them. And good on him to not do that. But like say that to your dad, like, hey, where's mom? Is mom okay? Is she all right? And I think she might be dead. And like like have a conversation with your dad of like where the hell is the mom? You know,
Hmm.
instead of just like on the day of crashing their car having a third problem, just saying like your mother's in here. She died months ago or weeks ago. Yeah, and just cold like. Okay, did you want to elaborate?
And that's the kind of humor that Anderson has, where it's like it's very direct
It's very
and
no.
also like from that scene where he's talking with Tom Hanks, where it's like split and it's
Yeah,
like
it's like
we
split
cover
screen.
we're late. Yeah, you're late. It's like the dialogue is very direct, but it's funny that way. I don't know. It's like
Yeah,
It's very subtle, but
It's
really
very
funny.
subtle, and I love that type of dark humor of just standing there with the, the dead mom in the Tupperware and being like, yeah, here. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I love that type of humor, and that's why I love Wes Anderson movies, because I love that type of humor.
Because all of their emotions, like if you
Are just like,
noticed, they're all okay, maybe not all, but mostly they're
mostly
all
there's just like,
same in that they speak like as if they're robots. They don't show that much emotion, a lot, but
yeah,
that's just how it is.
that's just how it is. And then we got Robin from Stranger Things in a bus full of, like, I want to say, second graders that are on like a space trip, I guess, with some cowboys, um, a, a struggling actress with her daughter who is also a brainiac who Brainy
Hmm.
likes, and we got um fuck, what's her name? I only know her from It. Beth Bethany, right? Bethany from it? Is that her name? Bethany? Beth? I think her name is Bethany. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, her from It is also a brainiac, and her mom is blonde and she's redhead, so that makes total sense, apparently.
Hmm.
But she has a big admiration towards the other girl's mom, who's Scarlett Johansson. Um, because I guess she likes that she's an actress or whatever. I don't know. And then we got this kid who wants to say, "Hey, do you dare me to do this dangerous stunt
Oh yeah, the
every
Jeremy guy.
freaking time you see me?" And like, no, we don't. I'm gonna
It
do
just
it
brought
anyway.
me. It like brought me back to elementary when a lot of kids would be like, "You dare me to do this and that." So that was
First,
that
it
was
was
like
it,
a funny.
it first went through from hot peppers to then falling off a small building to pressing a button to see what it does to then falling off an incomplete passage. Like, it
Hmm.
just went up and up and up and up. And like, I get his explanation of like wanting to be seen, but that's not the way to be seen, bro. Like, there are other ways to be seen. So, hey, you dare me to do this dangerous thing that probably will kill
And
me?
going back to that thing where there's no reactions, like everything he did, I don't think anyone like reacted or anything. They'd be like, "Oh my god," or anything like that. It's
Yeah,
just like,
because like
look at
like
him,
if
and
he
then
when he ate the pepper, he went straight to the water cooler, and like Steve Carell's like, "Is he okay?" He's like, "Yeah, he just thirsty." Yeah. Anyway, and then like when he jumped out the building, the guy was like timing to see how long it would like crash, and because he's like fascinated with gravity or whatever, and then
oh yeah,
and then when he pressed the button, he's like, "If you press that button, I will twist your neck." And so I'm waiting for him to press the button to see what the guy would do. Because I don't think that's his
right,
dad or anything. I just think that's like his chaperone or something. And then he pushes the button and just rants.
yeah,
It's so funny. Just like, I'm gonna kill you.
it's that comedy.
It's so funny. I don't know why, but it's so funny. Anyway, we get to the phone call with Tom Hanks, and as you say, it was like a split scene thing. Say, hey, come here, get your granddaughters, and I'll basically ditch them. That was his plan, but I guess he didn't want to ditch his kids, which is good. Don't
Hmm.
don't ditch your kids, especially if your wife died. Do not ditch your kids. Don't do that. That's not good parenting. Don't just leave them off with the grandparents. Just be there.
Yeah.
And then we get to the asteroid night where they're like gonna see this like 3 dot miracle, or they say it's like a miracle, and like the doctor who found this has her in her eyes, like just it's just pierced through her eyes because she looked directly at it and she was not supposed to. It's like a lunar eclipse or any eclipse. You can't look at it directly if it's a full one without like safety measurements, right? And
Hmm.
so we're looking at the cool 3 dots, Nice. Is that it? We're all mesmerized. I know it's like maybe like the 50s, 60s. We're mesmerized by this? Okay, cool. Okay. Wow. Three dots. Wow. And then Brainiac sees this green dot that's not the other three dots, but just green, and it's getting brighter and brighter, and then he looks up, and then everybody looks up, and it's a UFO. And
It's a
this,
giant.
I swear to God, Slenderman looking, invisible man looking guy comes down from his spaceship. He looks at everybody, everybody's looking at him. We're all just like, no one's saying a word, we're just staring at him as he picks the gate out off of the meteorite and grabs it. And the photographer takes a picture of him and he's like, he takes a
Yeah, I was expecting
picture.
like an alien, but in Wes Anderson style, not a like a stop motion. It felt
It
like
looks like it was stop motion. That's the thing.
I
Oh,
think
it
it might
was.
have
But
been
like,
because it sure the way it moved, it looked, and it was like it just caught me off guard because it was like this, live action, and
then
then this
all of a
guy
sudden,
or
stop
this
motion.
thing from stop motion comes in. So it was like it kind of felt like they just took a character from Tim Burton. We're just gonna borrow this guy for a little bit
Borrow you real
as our
quick and
alien,
just
and then we're gonna
because he
yeah.
just like just
And then it just dips.
it just dips and leaves and goes like whoop, and
Hmm.
the whole city goes on lockdown. And then like couple we see like back and forth of like how the like play, because this is based off of a play. And so
It's a
we're
play
like,
within a play.
it's a play within
I
a
don't know how
play,
many
which is
plays.
like playing Inception. What?
Right.
And so we're like seeing like different characters getting different roles, and like we're seeing like the actor for the photographer, how he got the actor for the photographer, gay love, and we're seeing like maybe child endangerment with Scarlett
Right.
Johansson, the guy who plays the Brainiac. And then like we get like this guy who has his wife who's now cheating on him with a baseball player, and now he's like directing and producing the show, and like freaking Green Goblin's there helping with the actors, and like it's just like, hold up, wait a
Yeah.
minute, what? Green Goblin is helping acting lessons with Scarlett Johansson and Robin? I, what?
Hmm.
What? What is this right now? Like, just a bunch of big names under one roof, just trying to fall asleep. What?
Yep. That's Wes Anderson.
And that's what Sanderson for you. He makes you go, what? After every movie, I swear. But then, um, later on the weeks, people come to see the place where people saw aliens because that got leaked out by the kids. Um, and then the quarantine is lifted, everyone goes home. But as soon as they lifted the quarantine, the alien comes back, and not like before, he just pops, and and then like the light goes green, and then like we're like, oh fuck, he's back. And then he just drops the meteorite. So literally what this alien does, he picks up his meteorite, goes home, do whatever he wants with it, comes back and drops it back down.
Yep.
What? And then the colonel guy was like, you know about the quarantine that I said is lifted? Forget that. We're gonna probably stay here for another week. To get comfortable. And then basically everyone leaves, and then the girls and the kid, the Brainiac kid, all go home. Everyone goes home, and like the photographer guy and Scarlett Johansson got this like weird love relationship by going through her play, which is about like I guess a woman being beamed by her husband, and in order for her husband to love her, to like do suicide, I guess. Because at first, when she showed up with like a black eye and like glasses, I was like, "Oh shit, was she hurt?" Like, "Oh no, it's makeup." I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
that's good
And then when
makeup."
we see her laying down in the tub, like
Dead. I
looking
thought like,
dead,
"Oh fuck, did she die? What happened?" Like,
I thought she did die, but it was like, oh no, just be like read the next line or whatever.
so I was like, "What is the play that she's trying to do?" And then like in the middle of like when the alien comes back down, uh, the photographer actor, his actor breaks character and says, "I'll be back," and literally leaves the set that's
Hmm.
of the scene that's actually happening and goes to the director and says, "I don't get the play. Am I playing the character right? I don't think I am." And he's like, "You're playing the character correctly. It's okay. Now go back out there." Because I don't even get the play. And I like Wes Anderson stuff, and I don't even get the play. I don't get the play. And like, it's so confusing. And then he goes out for a smoke, and he talks to Margot Robbie, who is supposed to play his wife, I guess. And
Hmm.
they had a scene of where it was cut from the actual play, and I would actually like to see that scene being played out in the movie as the scene of the play. I don't know if that makes any sense, but you know what I'm talking about? Like, I would actually like to see that scene happening, if that makes sense, or whatever.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. And then they go back, and he goes back in there, and like, we're all gone. But it's like, what? And then we just, yeah, and then it's over. The dad, the grandfather, Tom Hanks, takes all of them to his house, and he says like, "You guys can stay as long as you want." And roll credits, and then just a Roadrunner just dancing, being himself. So yeah, that's
Yep.
basically it. That's what I took from it.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't like by the end of it, and I still can't exactly remember. Like I remember like yeah, people in this city, alien comes by, and they just kind of living their lives and stuff, but in a very colorful and beautiful looking place, which is funny because it's the people from different places and they come to this one, but they all seem the same. I mean, obviously, 'cause it's Wes Anderson. They all look the same in terms of like fashion or color wise,
Yeah.
and so that's like really my only takeaway, which was what I was really going for with this movie. I was like, I'm just gonna go watch it for the visual. If I don't get the story, it's like I don't really, I don't have a problem, which a lot of people did because when
I honestly
uh,
don't have a problem.
I
I actually liked the movie. I just didn't get it.
yeah,
It's okay to like
a lot
something
of
and not get
people
it.
from reviews, like a few reviews I've seen on YouTube, um, most of them were like, "Oh, Wes Anderson did it again with his visual style, whatnot, but overall it was okay." Or like thumbnail saying Wes Anderson's, worst film or not good or whatever. And I was like, "Oh, really?" People are like, it's kind of divisive, but I guess it depends on you. If you're looking for a story, maybe if you're very square, I guess, I don't know, you might not really like it. But me, I went to see it for the visual and I loved it. It had that Wes Anderson charm from the Grand Budapest Hotel. So
I'm
yeah,
trying,
I
I'm
enjoyed
trying
it,
to
and
look
most
up.
likely, I'll most likely buy it when it comes out on Blu-ray, whatever.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up the movie and see what it got. Because it's still playing.
Mm-hmm.
And you can watch it now on
Very
YouTube for $20 or
playing on very selective theaters because I had to go one kind of far from mine, and it's only one showtime. I was like, oh dang.
So it got a 6.9 from IMDb out of 10. It's a 73% on Rotten Tomatoes and 62% on Fandango.
So it's like a C plus movie for a lot of people.
Basically, if I'm reading
Where
reviews correctly.
it was like okay, it was good, but nothing too wow.
Asteroid City is a cinematic gem that reminds us the power of cinema to make us think and feel deeply. Yeah, I agree with that. Overall, Asteroid City is a visual, gorgeous story that left me reviving how to interpret and discuss art. That's actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, 6.9. Damn.
Right.
Like, I thought it was kind of better than that. Well, I guess now that we talked about the movie, what do you think the movie was trying to say?
You were gonna ask me that, right?
I mean,
I
that's
saw
the
it like
question
what
everyone is
2 weeks ago.
talking about. What is this movie?
What is it talking about?
What is it talking about?
Uh, I don't know. It did touch on different things. One I can think of, like about the parenting,
Mm-hmm.
about the kid daring to only looking for attention or looking for approval by people.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was Scarlett Johansson trying to, I guess, be perfect
And be
in her
playing
role or
star
whatever.
and be famous.
And the photographer who is very like concrete, like he has emotions, but he doesn't really like show them or doesn't know how to. And then you have
Yeah.
Tom Hanks, who's just like the grandpa or uncle. I don't know. I forgot what. Uh, I don't know. Like that's what I paid attention. Like different people or different their own sort of like I don't know values, lessons, whatever.
Yeah.
But as a whole,
Yeah. I honestly don't know how to make heads or tails about this movie. Honestly, for me, it seemed like
okay. So if you were to tell, hey, have you heard about Asteroid City? And they're like, what is it about? What would you tell them? Like a summary, not detailed, but like a vague summary.
a group of people go in the middle of nowhere where an asteroid hit to do a science fair, but an alien came to take the said asteroid and dipped. Town goes under.
But you're already spoiling it, aren't you?
Well, if they don't mind spoilers, but basically, if I had to not
Well, if you
spoil
were to tell them without those kind of details, like
it.
how I would say, Asteroid City, it's a Wes Anderson movie, which means it's very colorful, very
Mm-hmm.
symmetrical, and it's about in the 50s or 60s, and a group of people come into one single town at a convention, and it has to do with aliens. That's how I vaguely tell them how to aliens
You can vaguely tell, yeah.
and yeah, and it's a play within a play within a play,
Yeah,
and that's
it's
pretty much how
playception, basically. I think that's
that's
how
pretty much how I would say. Like, yeah, and they're all different characters, a huge cast.
very
So
big
I'm
cast.
pretty sure you're going to know like the two or three actors from it.
You're
So,
probably, if you don't know any actors, you probably know them from what they're from. So you're
mhm.
you're gonna you're gonna know some people.
Or
But
if you don't know any of the actors, then you probably don't watch movies.
yeah,
But
then you probably live under a rock like Patrick Star. So
yeah,
who
but
are we
that's
to judge?
pretty much how I would. That's how I would put it vaguely.
But now let's do our scoring and not what the critic says because critics are usually wrong about movies. So your rating, my sir.
My score
Yes,
out of 10
out of 10
would be
would be.
either 8.5 or a 9. And that all of that has to do with like visual,
Hmm.
the dialogue,
Hmm.
the humor,
Hmm.
the cast, like all the good things. And the only reason why I would put in a 10 is because of how confusing the whole thing was in
Yeah,
terms of story, where I can't even say what it meant, you know?
yeah.
But
Like,
again, I only saw it once, so
yeah,
but
I
yeah,
also only
that's
saw it
right
once.
for
But
right now. That's where I stand, like an 8.5 or 9.
I think I will go the same way. I think I would put it at a 9. And the only and like
Mm-hmm.
the same reason why I didn't give it a 10 is because I didn't understand what the play was about and what the play of the play was about. And I didn't really understand what the alien was doing with the asteroid in the first place. And I don't know why he brought it back. So like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what actually happened, but just by viewing it, the dark humor and like I said, this being in a Wes Anderson film, I was already gonna give it like an 8. The just the extra point was just based on how I liked it so much. It was already no matter what it was, if it was like a god awful movie, I would still put it at an 8 because Wes Anderson is just gonna make me laugh, and I love it
Mm-hmm.
because I love dark humor like that.
Exactly. Where, well, I mean, to me, it wasn't, it wasn't boring
It wasn't boring at all.
or long, to be honest. Like, because I was just enjoying whatever was on the screen, like whatever was happening. I was like, okay, this is cool. I'm with it. But
Yeah. But like, yeah, I would give it a 9 out of 10. I would give it a strong 9 out of 10.
hmm yeah,
And now for dun 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 dun. Indiana Jones and the
the
long
Dial of
ass
Destiny.
name, Last
It's not
Crusade,
that long. It's Dial of Destiny. It's not
Dial
long.
of
We've had
Destiny,
long.
Dial of Destiny. Right. Why don't you tell me what you thought of the series, and I'm gonna look up the scores.
The series or the movie?
Let's start with the movie, and then we'll end up with the series of like which one's the best, and so on and so forth.
Okay, so this movie.
Mhm.
Now, I've only seen the first three. I haven't seen the fourth one
Mhm.
because people kept saying that, oh, it's really bad or whatever. But
Mhm.
I was like, okay, I don't know. But I only saw the original three,
Mhm.
skipped four, and then went to this one, which wasn't that bad because they made a whole lot of references from the first one or the second one that I got it. But I thought this one was it was good, but it's one of those movies where you go see it in the theaters, you enjoy it in the moment, and then you forget about it a week later, and then just probably won't watch it again. That's
Yeah.
that's where like my initial thoughts. Like it's a good movie in the moment, but I was like, okay, not really think about it later on, and then just maybe not really watch it again, unless I don't know. I was like, I'm gonna watch all Indiana Jones, but
Yeah. Because like when this first got announced that this would be like Harrison Ford's last attempt at Indiana Jones, I didn't believe that for a second. And two, I was like, you know what? I hear a lot about Indiana Jones. I know the music, I know some references. I know that like one of the
have you ever
Goonies.
been on the ride
I've
on
been
Disneyland?
on. Here's the thing. I've been on the ride almost like 1,000 times. I know that ride inside and out. Like I know, like I besides the Haunted Mansion, which I know more about than the Indiana Jones ride. I kind of know how that ride works, and I love the story that it tries to tell. Because, like, if you guys don't know about the ride, here's a quick summary of it. You are adventuring with Indiana Jones in this like speed, like doom buggy or whatever
It's
it
like a
is, like
yeah,
speed car. It's in Disneyland and Anaheim, if you're wondering what I'm talking about. And basically, you have to really go through the maze of like scorpion, oh my god, snakes, and then we go like down through 3 doors. I think one is like truth, wealth, and something else. I can't really remember the doors, but you go through 3 different ones, It's basically the same door but different lighting. And then
Mhm.
you go through like fire, and there's like adventure. You're going you're jolting back and forth, and then you see Indiana Jones, and then you almost get crushed by a boulder, but you're safe because that's how it works. Because you're not in any real danger. Then you're off the
Right.
ride. It's basically a 2 minute. It's like a minute and minute and a half ride that you go on for fun, and it's like you're good to go. You're awesome. You're great. You did a Indiana Jones ride. Awesome. But that's
Mhm.
basically the ride. And I only know Indiana Jones because of the music and because of that ride. That's all I knew about Indiana Jones. I knew he had like a cool hat and a whip and a gun. That's it. And that's all I knew about him. I
Mhm.
knew some references, but that, that it's literally all I knew. So I never watched any of the movies. And I said to myself, well, why not? Like when the fourth movie came to theaters, I actually went to go see it in theaters, not knowing anything about Indiana Jones. And I actually remembered less than I thought. All I knew about Indiana Jones, the fourth movie, was that he had a son. That's all I could remember about that movie. That he had a son, and that his son was played by Shia LaBeouf, who played Sam in the Transformers movies. So that's all I knew. That's legit all I knew. And like I didn't see any of the other movies. I didn't know anyone's names. I only knew Indiana Jones. He goes by Indy sometimes. His real name is Henry Jones Jr. His father's name is Henry Jones. That's it. That's all I knew. Kind of, sort of, not really. But that's literally all I knew. And then this week or this past month, I did a reaction to every single Indiana Jones movies with my mom. And unfortunately, I saw this movie, the fifth one, without my mom. So I was so sad that I couldn't see it with my mom before she left for Georgia. But yeah, that's a sad truth. I couldn't see it before she went
Mhm.
to Georgia. But I'm hoping to see it either when we come back or when it comes on Disney Plus or whatever. Maybe we see it when we're there. Who knows? But
Yeah.
yeah, I saw it and I thought like it was long. I thought it was so long and it
That
was going
that
like
that's another thing
um,
that it felt really long. Yeah.
because
I think it might have been the
I know
longest.
like Indiana Jones movies can get longish, can go up to the 2 hour mark, but this was like almost 2 hours and 40-ish minutes. Like how even long was
Mhm.
this thing? Like
Yeah.
it was
It did
very
feel like
it's
halfway
two
through I was
hours and
like, okay.
34 minutes, Ivan.
It was like I can feel the 2 hours and 40 runtime.
I was like, okay, yeah, yeah, oh, cool. Sure. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Okay.
Which is which says much because, for example, if you were to watch like Endgame, 3 hours long, but you don't mind it because you enjoy the whole thing, right?
Because we enjoyed the whole
You're
thing,
like
and we're like,
emotions are coming up, things are
we're like,
happening.
you pulled us in by our neckties and be like, okay, we're listening. Yeah, we're listening. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, we're listening. But with this one, it's like,
Hmm.
okay, yeah, and then it happened.
And the
Keep
whole
going
time, so I don't think we should like talk detail because we'll be here forever.
forever.
But
Yeah.
like maybe if you want like moments, but like from start to finish, I think it's gonna be a long time. It's gonna feel
Basically,
as long as the movie.
Andy stole this dial thing that the Germans wanted, that some doctor wanted to prove something of whatever that was belonging to some science dude in the way back ones, and then Indy's partner was like the like his daughter was like a granddaughter, whatever, to Indy, and basically that daughter growed up and wanting to find that dial to sell it, and then went to Indy to find the dial and then stole it from Indy, and then these guys, for the bad guys that came from the doctor, wanted to steal that dial back to make it two whole, and so they found the two holes and they made it to one. Indy gets shot in a plane. We're in the plane. We meet this girl with her kid sidekick who knows how to hotwire cars but doesn't know how to drive a plane, but he knows how to drive. Lucky. And then we go back in time because these two dials, when they combine and in the right sequences, it goes back in time. So this German guy wants to go back to the Nazi war to win the war with these advanced weapons that the 60s provided, that the 30s didn't have. And, like, he wanted to, like, do something with the war. I don't remember what he wanted to do with the war. I was spaced out at that time of him explaining what he wanted to do when he got there. Indy almost died back in the way back when because we went way too much farther back and we went too far where the guy who made the dial thing was alive and about to make it, and everyone thought it was a dragon, which was hilarious. And Indy almost died, and we had to pleaded to the smart guy to let us bring him back, but Indy was like, no, let me die here, let me die here. I'm like, Indy, shut the fuck up and get in the goddamn plane. And so we got in the goddamn plane. Indy was actually divorced before all this. Now he's back together with the girl that he liked in the first movie, who was actually the mom of M.A.D.D.Y, who actually died in battle because he was in the war. The end.
Even that summary was long as hell.
Even that summary was long, and I was trying to not make it long.
Even that summary
Even that summary was long, and I was not trying to make it long.
Oh man.
But that's basically what happened. And yeah, that's basically what happened.
To the part where I realized, I was like, okay, this is so awesome. What's really the beginning? Like when we see young Indiana Jones,
Like the
up to
CGI was not half bad. Some moments
it was.
were a bit off.
You can
See
what kind of caught me off guard though
kind of
was the voice. It was the voice. It was
yeah,
old
it was
Harrison
so weird
Ford,
because you de-aged everything but his
except the
voice.
voice.
Like I
So it's like
get
Indy's face, and but with
Harrison Ford is
old
and 90s something whatever.
But they could have done it like how they did with Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian. Like he did the lines, but then they like generated in the computer to sound younger.
He's
So I don't know why they didn't.
old. You can totally voice change him to when he sounded when he was 30 when he made the movies.
Mm-hmm.
You can totally.
So when he first spoke, I was like, okay, that's odd, but
That's
I
old
guess it kind of like
but in a young Indy's body, I get that. But dude, you could do more because that whole scene was legit 30 minutes or however long it was. It was so long with old Indy voice, but with a new Indy body. CGI, be damned, you left his voice the same. So it
they
just
forgot that they focused so much on the face, they
you
forgot
focused
the
so much on the face that you screwed it up, but you also screwed up his voice?
yeah.
It made no fucking sense. But yeah,
But that whole sequence was, I think, like the only thing that was like, okay, this is awesome, Indiana Jones, let's go. But then towards that, it was all like,
it just went,
I don't know.
yeah, I'm here. I'm not sleeping. No, I'm resting my eyes. Yeah, I'm listening. I'm listening. And
And
my sister, I want to say, in the 2 hour mark, she's like, how long is this gonna be? Because I took my sisters and my dad to see it because I got to see movies for free. And we got in there at 7. We left the movie theaters at like 10 or 11.
that's the same time I went to see it. Same
So
7:20, and I got out hella late.
I got a hell late because the movie was so long. And then great, this is fantastic. Wow. This is long. Yeah, I want to go too, but I gotta see what happens to Indy at the end. Couldn't you look that up?
Right.
Yeah, but we're seeing this for free, so let's be quiet and watch the movie. And yeah, it just went on for some time. And I don't know what people were saying about the fourth one being so long. This one felt longer because I watched
Which
both
is
of those movies, and this one felt longer than the last one. At least the fourth one had some story that indulged me in somewhat, and that I didn't really felt how long it was. But with this, I was like, okay, so we're in the time of moon landing. That's cool. The first man on the moon are about to happen. Awesome, cool. What else?
which is it's a good thing I went by myself.
Yeah.
I was gonna go with my parents because they were like, "Oh, it might be, cool," but I was like, I think I'm gonna go by myself. Plus, I mean, they come from work, and I saw the runtime beforehand, and I was like, I told them it's two. They're like, "Oh, I want to go," and I told them the runtime it's 2 and 40 minutes long, 2 hours and 40 minutes long, and they're like, "Okay, now you can by yourself." So I was like, "Cool, okay, I'll go." And good thing because I feel like they would have been like either sleeping or tired. So I didn't want to feel that while I was there, because I kind of feel that when I was like, "Hey, you want to go watch the movie?" Like, yeah. And then when it's not that cool or it's very long, I kind of feel guilt for telling them to go.
Yeah.
But so I was like, I'm just gonna go by myself and you know just focus on
Well,
the movie and not.
we gotta wrap this up a little bit because I actually have to leave. So let's
Yeah,
quickly
yeah, yeah.
what's the
So final score.
final let's do the final score and maybe later we'll talk about this whole series as a whole. Maybe after you watch the fourth movie. We'll do that.
Yeah,
Final score, Indiana
you're fine.
Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Yours
You
first.
first? You first? Honestly, 7 out of 10. And that's only because of the nostalgia effect and that it was somewhat cool. It
Hmm.
goes. I go back and forth between 6.5 and 7, but that's basically what I have.
I would give it, either a solid 6 or a 6.5.
Yeah, and in
It's
theaters,
a C minus. I would
yeah,
give it a C minus
I
or a C.
IMBD said 6.9 out of 10 and 68% on Rotten Tomatoes. I know, I'm coming. So there you go. Even the critics, we agree for once for the critics. So for once
Right.
we agree. But we're gonna have to cut this short. I
I
actually have to
then
leave. But it was good talking to you, Ivan. I'll talk to you some more
talking to
maybe
you.
afterwards. But I'll see you guys later. Peace.